वो कह रहा है ध्यान से बैठे देख रहे सबका डिस्टेंस होना चाहिए थोड़ा बहुत.
E4 इसके बाद based on situation final ताकि
ठीक है.
And it's a very warm welcome to the Kerava National here in Finland for a cricket-starved European cricketing community special, one might say, as we're about to get underway in the Finnish Premier League, the T20 Premier League. And we're watching Helsinki Cricket Club against Vantaa Cricket Club in the Finnish T20 Premier League. The first cricket of this summer season here in Finland, and it seems the first cricket anywhere in Europe, which is a bonus. That's why we're with you today from not quite a sunny Kerava, as the first scoring shot looks like being a drop, in fact. They go through for a single. Helsinki are in the dark blue. They're the ones batting. They won the toss, decided to bat. And they're the first chance and the first run. So Mangal, the batsman, who's off the mark for Helsinki. So it's promising to be dry, at least here in Kerava. You perhaps wouldn't have thought on the first day in June that you'd be heading to the northern climes of Finland for your cricketing action, wherever you are in the world. La Manga it isn't, but it's warmish for Finland, and it's dry. And the ground looks a picture, having been relayed before this season. There's no run scored off that, just one from the over so far, and that dropped catch. We'll be talking hopefully throughout the evening to Andrew Armitage, who's the chairman of Cricket Finland, who until this weekend didn't know this was going to happen. We knew the cricket was going to happen, but we didn't know we'd be showing the world this cricket, which is a welcome bonus for us in little Finland here. Helsinki Cricket Club, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the setup in Finland, are the reigning champions of this competition, having done the double last season, having won the 40 over one day competition and the T20 competition. Another ball is this time called a wide. Another run to the Helsinki score. 3 without loss. And Helsinki were due to be Finland's representatives in the European Cricket League this summer, but unfortunately because of the worldwide situation, that competition has been postponed for the season. But I guess we should all just be grateful that we are playing some cricket at long last. So wherever you are, a warm welcome, and enjoy what we have to offer over the coming week and a half here in Finland. Mix up between the batsmen here. The throw wasn't that accurate. And there's no run. So 3 without loss, Helsinki. Final ball of this over. That's a foolish delivery, which is elicits a big swing, but no contact. End of the first over then. 3 without loss. And just to fill you in a little bit more about the situation here in Finland, I mentioned we're in Kerava, kilometres north of Helsinki. And this is the home to the KNCG, the Kerava National Cricket Ground, which was opened in 2014. So it's a purpose, but the only, well, it was the only purpose-built cricket ground in Finland. We now have a couple of others, grass pitches. This one is an artificial strip, but the outfield, of course, is grass. Another one in Vantaa, which is home to one of the teams playing tonight, those in light blue, Vantaa CC. And Finland, of course, was due to host the ICC, one of the ICC World T20 European qualifying events at the end of this month. But unfortunately, what would have been a day in the spotlight for Finland again has been cancelled because of the worldwide situation. And just in case your eyes might be deceiving you on the pictures, we're only bowling from one end here. That's why it looks identical, as the second over is due to start now. And this should be runs for Helsinki. Mangal moves on to 2 and brings Qureshi back onto strike, yet to score. The bowler for Vantaa, Madura Milan. I'm not going to try and pronounce his surname, if that is indeed his surname. He runs away from us here towards what we are terming the brewery end here in Kerava. You might just see the tops of a brewery behind as this one is sliced down to third man. They're going to pick up a couple of runs. Helsinki not off to a flying start here, but no wickets down. We're in the second over. Helsinki, as I say, the reigning T20 champions, and also the reigning champions from the 40 over one-day format. So what you might term favourites for this is the first boundary of the match. A lovely square cut, a couple of bounces through to the boundary rope. A welcome release of pressure, and Qureshi takes his score now on to 6. So later on in the broadcast this evening, we'll be talking to, hopefully, the chairman of Cricket Finland, Andrew Armitage, who's been instrumental in bringing so much cricket to Finland. Quick single taken into the offside. Oh, direct hit. It's a terrific piece of fielding. The umpire, though, in a good position, doesn't give it out, and the single stands. It's hotted up a little bit now into this second over after a fairly slow start as the sun bathes Kerava here for the first time properly this evening. Cool here, probably 13, 14 degrees, as you might expect in Finland, which is a shame that we didn't have the weather of the weekend where it was in the low 20s. But it does promise to stay dry throughout the week, so we should have plenty of action for you here on the ECN. And straight drive now, goes to the fielder at mid-on, quick single, fumble, and no danger to the batsman. 12 without loss, Helsinki at the end of the second over. And yes, we'll hopefully explain a little bit more about how this venue came into being, because it's quite a story behind it for little old Finland to be hosting international matches as it did last summer. The first recognised, ICC recognised T-20 international that Finland ever played in. We had a round robin, a three-way tournament with Spain, who were the visitors last year. And Finland, of course, were due to play in the ICC T20 European qualifiers at the end of the month that I mentioned earlier have been postponed, sadly. But nonetheless, we're happy just to have some cricket as we go into the third over. And this is a big shot now, but there's a fielder interested underneath it coming in from mid-on. Oh, has he spilt that one as well? There's 2 drops then inside the first 3 overs. I'm trying to remember if it's the same fielder or not that spilt both. I'm being told not, so I shouldn't do him a disservice by naming him. Just looking to see whether you can blame the sun for that one. Another push through the triangle up to mid-off, and an easy single for Helsinki. Hangamura then to continue, and outside the off stump, no run. I mentioned we'll have a little chat throughout the evening with some of the, or throughout the week in fact, with some of those responsible for bringing cricket to Finland, and we'll have some words in a moment from Andrew Armitage, the chairman of Cricket Finland, who can tell us how this came about and how we came about to be being broadcast across the world on this sunny evening here in Finland, as the next ball is driven through the offside up to extra cover, deep extra cover, and they're going to go through for 2. Should be 3 here though. There's quite a long boundary there. Possibility of an overthrow there. But Andrew Armitage, chairman of Cricket Finland, it's his responsibility. The first cricket of the summer in Europe, coming from Finland of all places. You'd never have seen that coming, Andy, would you, a few months ago?
I wouldn't have seen it coming around about a week ago, if I'm honest.
Well, let's rewind and say I wouldn't have seen it coming a couple of days ago, to be honest. We're just explaining as this next ball is delivered down the leg side and is given a wide. I mentioned to those watching and listening about this fantastic facility that Finland are very lucky to have here in Kerava, something that a lot of larger nations around Europe would be very grateful for. Oh, it is bowled. First wicket then is gone. Played all across that one, he did. Is that Qureshi who's gone? Bit of a sweep across the line, to be honest. And it didn't take much to get past that front leg, shall we say, in that situation. So first wicket down, Helsinki. In the third over, 18 for 1. Back to this story of the Kerava National Cricket Ground. Opened 2014?
Now, 2014 was the clubhouse, actually, Richard. So we only started planning with the local municipality on converting this from an old farmer's field back in 2007-8, with the first discussions when the wheats and the weeds and everything else that was growing here was approximately about 3 feet high when we first came down here. So it was, as you can well imagine, it was a 3 feet high field full of weed, and well, you can see today. So the initial plan, as the Finnish authorities, the local municipality here, didn't have a clue about what we were talking about. This strange thing's called cricket, and I guess we painted such a positive vision of the future for them that this didn't end up being a shopping centre or something else, and here we are today with this fantastic cricket facility.
5.5 million is the population of Finland, so we're a very small country. But we support how many teams now, is it?
We have, if we talk about clubs overall, so there's some of the teams that are more set than others. We're above the 30 mark, 32 I think is the correct statistic, and we go from here down the south, Greater Helsinki region, all the way up to above the what do you call it? Not the North Pole, but the Arctic Circle. Thank you, Richard. Lived too long in Finland, can't think of my English any longer. Arctic Circle with 2 clubs up in Oulu, and obviously looking to develop cricket across the country. That's our long-term vision, of course, to have more and more local Finns, both children, adults, and when we say adults, women as well as men, of course. So that's the master plan, and as everybody knows, those master plans don't take place if you haven't got a proper facility for that purpose, and that has been the vision of developing this ground since the start. So this is looking at everything from grassroots beginners cricket all the way up to national sides and T20 internationals, which we hosted last, which seems such a long time ago, before Corona, last August with Spain coming here. So yeah, I think that's the potted history of the last 12 or whatever years that is.
Yeah, rather surprising to some, maybe, that up here in the cold and frozen north that we managed to play. But we should put this right. The summers here can be pretty decent. The average temperature in Finland is higher than in the UK, I'm told.
I was going to say, so I'm told as well. And if I remember 30-something years ago, when I used to live in Manchester, where I'm originally from, I would say that our summers here are far better than they ever were in Manchester. But if you happen to be from the southern part of England, then you'd probably say, well, that's not saying all that much. But I guess it gives context to the background of summers here in Finland.
Just a reminder, Helsinki Cricket Club, the team batting in the dark blue, the double champions from last season. Vantaa HCC are the opponents tonight, and for those who are perhaps not too familiar with the geography of Finland, in fact there's quite a few that probably couldn't even name Finland's second city, to be honest with you, but Vantaa, am I right, is it the second or third? Well, correct me, because I should explain the Helsinki metropolitan area, what we call this conurbation around Helsinki, is made up of Helsinki city, Espoo and Vantaa, and I'm not quite sure which one is ranked as second city, but anyway, it gives you an idea that Vantaa are local, even though they're not quite Helsinki. Helsinki metropolitan area, but of course that is one of the strengths in a way, and I suppose it's also seen as a weakness in some respects, but here in Finland everything is very much concentrated in the southern coastal region around Helsinki and across to the west to Turku and a little bit further up towards Tampere. So for the purposes of running, what is it, we've got 5 leagues running this season, maybe 5, 6, 7, can't remember. The travelling is not too much of an issue for the teams, so there are some logistical advantages to it, despite the small population, and a lot of industry or types of industry that bring a lot of people who are interested in cricket, perhaps more so than people would think.
Absolutely, I think since early days the association was founded back in '99, so we had our 20th anniversary last year, and I think we've the last 15 years or so we've had anything between 20 different nationalities on the player books. So we've certainly got a massive array of nationalities from lots of well-known cricket countries and perhaps not so many well-known cricket countries, and obviously then from the Finnish cricket development perspective, then that's one of the biggest areas for us to actually continue to push further. So we've got more and more Finns playing the game as well. So hence we've got all of the different formats. Obviously Corona has had a huge impact on cricket all around the world, and with Finland being one of the countries that actually is starting to play cricket again this summer. So it's obviously we've had to adjust our schedule, and I know a lot of people from a lot of countries that are looking like not getting any cricket this summer. So I think we sort of look at this as being grateful for the fact that we've got some cricket starting today. Quite an amazing effort for us to actually be here, considering that the government clearance was in terms of all of their specific guidelines as to what it meant in practice to start on June the 1st, that we only had those 10 days ago. So
to the 5th over then, just to update you, another boundary for Helsinki. That takes them on to 30 for 1. And we'll talk a little bit more over the rest of the match in the coming weeks about cricket in Finland, but it might be worth just at this juncture for anybody that is watching and listening to us online this evening that we'd be delighted to hear from you in any shape or form, whether you can get in touch with us via social media. So you're going to give us all the appropriate social media addresses now, aren't you, Andrew?
I shall come back to you on that one then shortly, Richard. Thank you very much.
But Cricket Finland, go search for it online. I'm sure you'll find us, and let us know if you're watching, what you're thinking, and indeed if you are within Finland itself. If you want to know more about playing, and there's a super shot, a full toss, sub through the onside, but with control. No fielder out on the boundary. They're still in the first power play, of course, for the first 6 overs, so only 2 fielders allowed outside the ring maximum. Takes Helsinki on to 34 for 1 into the 5th over. So yeah, you let us know through the ECN website as well if you're watching this, no doubt through that and on the app, just to get in touch with us and let us know your thoughts on being able to watch some cricket in Europe for the first time this season. And we'll be bringing you action from the Finnish leagues tomorrow and on Wednesday evening, and then at the weekend we have some more T20 matches plus some T10 matches, 5 of those on the Sunday, which is a new competition for Finland this year, and then there'll be 3 more T20s in the T20 Premier League next week. Slight delay here. I think we've got a lost ball, have we? Which is a common problem here at Kerava. If you can see on the cover boundary to the right of the right-handed batsman, the white fencing, it does its job, but up to a point. And behind there is a gully. A nice ditch, which is home to probably several thousand old cricket balls. But the playing outfield is in terrific condition, if you can ignore a few dandelions growing here and there. But a lot of the outfield was relayed before this season got underway, taking advantage of what was some quite mild spring weather. Although having said that, we were under snow a month ago here in Finland. So it just tells you how things quickly can change. So 34 for 1 then in the 5th over. Helsinki Cricket Club, who won the toss and decided to bat. Going along at a rate which would give them a projected score at this rate of about 173, which would be very competitive in the context of things. It's quite a big outfield, and despite it being very lush and very grassy, it's quite slow outfield. Fairly long boundaries. As this is an attempt to clear one of them straight, and it looks like he's probably done it excellently. Yeah, over the rope it sails for 6. That's the first maximum of the evening. And a terrific shot from Mangal, who moves on to 22 with that. And he's going along at a nice little lick, a strike rate of 170 or thereabouts, to the first maximum of the evening then. And a terrific straight hit. And having played on this strip a good number of times, it is a very straight and true artificial strip. So doesn't appear to be an awful lot of deviation generally off the pitch. As this one ties him up a little bit, there's an appeal. It looks to be going well over though, and the umpire turns it down. End of the 5th over. 40 for 1 then, Helsinki. Even I can work out that's a going run rate of 8 and over. Partnership for these two, Mangal and Zamal, at 22. 15 overs remaining, which means just 1 over remaining of the power play. So first bowling change for Vantar at the end of the 5th over into the 6th. This is Ranuka, the captain. Number 69 on his back. Just bringing in the man from long off. As I squint around the corner, the man drops out on deep onto the mid-wicket boundary. So they've got a cover boundary rider and a man out on the mid-wicket boundary for Ranuka. One more over left of the power play. Kamal is going to be the man facing, who's currently on 6. And he's bowled. Yes, terrific delivery, a Yorker. Well, he sort of leant over that one a little bit. And that's the second wicket down for Helsinki. And a good start for the captain with the ball then. So Aniketh Pustai is going to be the new man into bat. So 40 for 2 then Helsinki in the 6th over. And a great start for Ranuka. The first delivery. Taking a wicket. Aniketh Pustai, national team player, will be the one to face. We'll talk more a little bit with Andrew Armitage about the Finnish national cricket team as well, because as I mentioned earlier, they've now got official international T20 status after a 3-match tournament with Spain last year. And he faces his first delivery. Comes down the wicket a little bit, but defends solidly. And as I mentioned earlier, there were big plans for this 8-team tournament for the European HCC T20 qualifying rounds, as he gets off the mark with a quick single to short fine leg. There's no real danger in the end, but he had to get his skates on. But that unfortunately has been postponed, as much of the cricket around the world and Europe has done. But of course we've been very lucky here in Finland that we haven't quite had the restrictions on movement that many other countries have, as the next ball is turned for 4, backward square leg, and the target moves on 4 more. Team as well, as I mentioned earlier, now official international T20 status after a 3-match tournament with Spain last year. Faces his first delivery, comes down the wicket defends solidly. As I mentioned earlier, there were big plans for this 8-team tournament for the European HCC T20 qualifying rounds. So it's off the mark with a quick single. Short fine leg. There's no real danger in the end. Skates on. But unfortunately, it's not postponed as much as the cricket around warm welcome back to Kerava National Cricket Ground in Finland for the first cricket of the summer here in Finland and indeed across Europe. There was due to be some cricket action in Sweden this weekend, but I understand that was curtailed at the last moment. So you have the pleasure of joining us in the sunny northern climes of Finland for this match between Helsinki Cricket Club and Vantaa Cricket Club. We're now 6 overs down, the power play has ended, 51 for 2. Helsinki are the batting side, having won the toss and decided to bat as they pick up another two to extra cover. Helsinki Cricket Club, the reigning Finnish T-20 Premier League champions. I shouldn't keep repeating because it was my team that got beaten in the final last year. There you go. So the next ball has just turned into the onside defensively. Mangal is on 32, he's the non-striker. Aniketh Pustai, who's a national team player for Finland, is the man on strike, currently on 3, facing the spin of Nipuna. Forgive me when I look down at my scorecard and see a host of names. Sometimes